Welcome back to Mom Talk for today's video. I'm batch cooking for the week again. I'm back to it. I took a break as life was busy, but I'm back to it. I got a lot of cooking to do, so let's get started. I am starting with oatmeal blueberry muffins that are sugar-free for me as the mom. I'll make the ones for the children later, but this is what I'm starting with, using some frozen blueberries that I put away for a while, mixing my dry ingredients already. I've already mixed the dry ingredients. Now it's time to add the blueberries, and then I'll be dishing out. I do have a recipe video for this particular one. I've done it in one of the shorts video. Today I am adding protein powder because I'm gonna eat mine on the side with it. I'm gonna have mine with non-fat Greek yogurt with them. But you're always welcome to add the protein in it. When I know it's just on the go and I'm grabbing go, sometimes I like to add my protein to my oatmeal, my THM oatmeal muffins. But this time I omitted that and I'm just gonna have it on the side. So I made a lot. Some are gonna be muffins, but unfortunately my muffin liners, some of that I ordered didn't come in time, so I am making the rest of it into a loaf, which is still tastes the same way. So these are beans, dry beans that I'm soaking because I'm gonna cook a lot of beans to have on hand for some of the meals this week for dinner. So I'm soaking. If you've never cooked beans from scratch, that's what I'm doing. I soak them overnight and then I'll cook them later. These are frozen chicken thighs and strips that I'm unfreezing. This is some frozen bananas I put away. When my bananas get ready, I put them away and freeze them for later baking. And here at the same time, stopping also to strain my kefir so that I'll actually had the kefir smoothie for lunch. My children drank it plain and strawberries on the side. So I am taking the time to strain my kefir and refill my kefir. I always have my kefir jug on counter if you've watched some of my videos while it's fermenting. Next, we're making granola for breakfast. Is coming this week. My son really loves granola and he likes to make sure that he makes it. So he's helping me shoot this and he's excited that we have granola for the week. And so yeah, just going ahead, my oats, my cinnamon, lots of cinnamon because my children like cinnamon. So we put in a lot of cinnamon and some coconut oil there. He likes to use his hands. He just some of his sisters or I, when I make them, sometimes we just like to use a spoon, but he likes his hands getting in there. He says it gets better. And now he's adding some honey to it to sweeten that granola. I prefer making my granola than store-bought ones, so this is why we're making some. These blueberry muffins are ready. Look at those. Don't they look good? Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I am so glad I made these ahead of time for the week because I do need to make sure I'm eating enough healthy carbs, and those will help. In the oven, in goes now the granola that we've already put on parchment paper. Now I'm going ahead. I didn't have sliced almonds. I use whatever I have in my house. I had whole almonds, so I am slicing them to add some extra protein and crunch the granola. Here's some of the granola ready. I like mine a little brown for some people, so we like it more toasty. Some people don't, so that's what we do. So I'm adding some the crushed almonds I had. I'm using some raisins I still had on hand. I think this was my last one. Some cranberries. This granola is gonna be mainly for my children. I'm not gonna eat them. If I would take out the cranberries for me. But anyways, I'm adding the cranberries that I had, and we're just gonna mix this and throw it in a bowl, and breakfast is ready. They're gonna dish out a bowl in the morning and pour some milk or yogurt in it, and it will be good to go. Next, we're making banana chocolate chip muffins. I'm mixing the oatmeal with some flour for this. These are my children's muffins, and so some cinnamon, but I'm doing half flour or half whole wheat flour and half oatmeal. I like the extra fiber in that. And remember those frozen bananas? I literally never throw away bananas. My children eat them. They like theirs not so ripe. So when they get too ripe, I just throw it in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And I always think of an idea every time. We will always eat any banana bread anytime. So never waste them. I always have some in the freezer for that purpose. So here we're adding some butter that has been melted, some brown sugar that's packing that brown sugar in. Just gonna mix it with some of that butter. It's looking good. Mix really, really good. My children love banana chocolate chip muffin. Any day they could have these, and these are gonna turn out really nice and moist. Now, because of the price of eggs, I have been actually substituting applesauce for eggs in my baking, and it's going well. It's much cheaper. I'm always about making the dollar stretch while I feed my family, so that's what I'm doing. Now it's time to mix our wet ingredients together with that dry ingredients. Look at how this is coming together beautifully. And for those of you who've never frozen bananas or put them away, I just take them ahead of time and thaw them for a few hours, and you mash them just like as usual. They will have a darker brown color to it than your fresh bananas, but they work so beautifully still in baking. So don't throw those bananas away. It's all mixed up. Now it's time to add chocolate chip. I happen to have semi chocolate chip and dark chocolate chip, so we are adding both kinds. Again, I use whatever I have in my house. I do not like wasting, so whatever I have is what we're working on when I plan my meals. So yeah, that's going in. Time to get them in some muffin tins. And again, I ordered some muffin liners, extra ones from Walmart. They delivered some products, but they did not deliver that. So some of it I'm gonna go in these muffin tins, and the other ones will turn out as a banana loaf, which is perfectly fine because it still tastes good and my children love it. I like the muffins because when you're serving so many people, you just give them one hand. Everybody knows what they're taking. The other one have to come slice it. You know, when you have children, sometimes you're like, oh, this one's bigger. You know how it goes. But anyways, this is still turning out well, and I'm just gonna throw this in the oven while it bakes. We'll make more food. Here, the beans have been soaking overnight, and yes, they do get that foamy look on top when you soak beans. And so now, if you've never done this before, you want to really strain them well. It just helps. One of the things I've heard, it helps really cut down on that gassy part of it. So sometimes it doesn't seem to have to work for us, but it does. I've always cooked beans from scratch. I guess because I was brought up in Africa and this is what I saw. I do use occasionally canned beans, but I like this. This is why it must, they're much cost effective for me. I buy them in bulk, and so they don't cost as much that way, and plus they can keep for a while. So I strain them. I'm gonna strain them. And no, I don't use a pressure cooker for this. I know some of my friends have asked, you cook beans without a pressure cooker? No, again, I grew up in Africa and this is what we did. And so I am gonna use a regular pot. So once I've strained it and strained it really well, I'm just literally gonna pour back in the huge pot because I wanna allow room for water. Otherwise you get a lot of spill out. So then I'm just gonna fill it up with water, just a little bit, enough to cover the beans, and then turn it on high and cook. Now at some point I have to check on it because it will wanna overflow, just like when you cook oatmeal, right? But that's it. It just takes a few hours on the stove cooking, but it's gonna do that while I am making other meals. So it's not taking extra time from me. So this is how I've always cooked meals, but that amount of beans is gonna last a long time. Now look at this already, the banana chocolate muffin. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you, Lord. This looks so good. Delicious. I know this won't last long, but this is going to be part of the snacks for my children this week. And now it's time. While the beans are on, I am getting the 6 cups of brown rice cooked to make 2 meals to 3 meals, dinner meals for this week. So yes, I don't measure. You can measure, but I learned to use the finger to measure, so that's kind of what I do. And then I'm just gonna put it on the stove while that rice cooks. I am washing my sweet potatoes. I was blessed with a box of sweet potatoes, which I really like. So I'm washing these sweet potatoes and I'm gonna cut them and cook them. Now, again, I cook with whatever I have, and I was so blessed with this. I'm like, I am not gonna let any sweet potato go to waste. So we're cooking this, and my children love them. And I've actually cooked them for the week, but they want to sit down and finish eating them, which is, I'm like, hello. So I know those won't last a while. So I'm probably gonna be cooking more again a few times this week. So I decided to opt out for this. My children's ultimate favorite is making them into sweet potato fries, but that was gonna take me extra more time and add a little bit more oil to my food, but this one has no oil. I wanted to make sure I can use them in my THMEs, and so it's just baked sweet potatoes, no oil to coating to it. So this works for me and they are loving it. I like mine a little brown, a little crispy. So you're gonna see mine come out that way because I let them stay. And once they're cooked and soft, I actually literally like to broil them. I also take time to turn them, so I'll show you that later. But meanwhile, let me show you. We've moved on to blueberry muffins now for the children. You already saw my sugar-free ones, so now I'm doing oatmeal blueberry muffins for my children. The difference is these ones have honey, which I could also have that. So, but I am choosing to have mine without the honey. So yeah, I am going not to do muffins with this ones. I'm actually just gonna do a big pot of baked oatmeal with blueberries for them that I can cut in squares. And so that's another meal that is gonna be ready to go. Actually, I'm using this as snacks for the week. So there you go. Bowl. It's a huge bowl, isn't it? Don't you like? I like my IKEA bowl. I think I have had it, well, I think coming to 15 years maybe. Oh my goodness, it served me well. I hope they still carry this because I need to go find me some. If you know that they carry it, let me know because I want to go buy me some. And even the bake pan I'm using, it's actually from IKEA. And again, I've had it also for 15 years. Traveled many states and countries with this, and still here. I really do need to pick me up a second one too. So on there, going in the oven, joining the sweet potatoes that are already in there. And while they cook, let's check on these beans. How are they doing? You see, if I don't take the lid off in time, it spills over, just like cooking oatmeal or rice. And so now let me show you, because I like my sweet potatoes brown and having that brown color, I do take time to turn them sides. So the side that hasn't gotten that brown crispy color can get to that. So that's what I'm doing right here. That's just how I like mine. You can keep it soft if you like. Now just put it back in the oven to brown just the way I like it. And if it doesn't, actually broil it a little bit just to get that brown golden color I like. Now off to the chicken that is already thawed. They're just like thin chicken strips, and there's two maybe that are chicken thighs that are thicker, but then they're thin, so they're gonna cook really quickly. So yeah, I'm just gonna put them in the sink and wash them really well. I do like to pull out my vinegar and really get it washed well, and then we'll get this on the stove for my next to join my meal. Doing a chicken stir fry with some of the veggies that I have for maybe 2 to 3 meals, dinner meals that we'll have this week. So I'm taking my time to wash them this well. So when I do these batch cook meals, few of my children join in the kitchen to just make this go quicker, but it's also a good time to teach them as part of my teaching them to cook. So if I'm trying, I might have them try a new recipe for themselves on the side, or have them chop and prep, and come along. Like, my son helped with the granola, somebody else is making dessert. So here, the chicken is on the stove, and now I'm flipping it a little bit just to get it brown on the other side. Like I said, so some of my children will be in the kitchen with me. Like one of my daughter helped with those muffins right there, and another one's making dessert. But I like us being in the kitchen and cooking together. I feel like it's just a family affair, and it makes cooking enjoyable. I want them to enjoy cooking. So there's a lot of stories happening. It's loud. If you could hear the background here, it's loud. Sometimes there's music going on. And when we're not talking, guess what? I put on some worship music, or I put on a teaching that I want to catch on, or podcast. This is a good time for me to get all that in. But at this moment, I have quite a few of my children, probably 4 of them in the kitchen, doing some kind of thing to cook or clean, so we can get it done together as a family quickly. So I cherish this time together because I know that's how they learn to cook. And that's definitely how my oldest ones have learned to cook. All right, so I'm turning it on. Some of the meat is done. I'm just going to take the chicken and just chop it in small pieces, again, because I'm going to be throwing it into my chicken stir fry for the week. So I need them in smaller pieces because, I do have also small children. So I make them a bite-sized chicken bites. And so I'm throwing them in the pan. I am just gonna add a little bit of butter and saute some cans of vegetables that are already put out and strained. Usually I have frozen vegetables, but I'm out. So I was like, well, let's use those cans. So here we go. I am washing them really well. And we're just gonna add this frozen these vegetables to the chicken that is on the pot. And once that is all mixed in, adding some spices. Adding some paprika. I added some ground ginger. I thought that's what I felt like today. So, and some salt right there. We're gonna mix it in really well, and then throw in those veggies. And you know what? It's rice time. And this is one of the meals that we never get tired of, literally. I grew up on rice and we never get tired of rice. We can eat rice how many times and never get tired. And if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to have this for dinner and I'm going to choose to have it for lunch because that is me. I could eat. We like meat and rice, and so you add in some protein in there and it's just gonna be filling. Now for me who's doing THM, I am gonna make sure when I dish out my meal that I have enough meat, or I'm gonna add extra meat or protein in the meal or on the side, just to make sure I'm still getting my 25 to 30 grams of protein with that meal. So here comes that brown rice that I already cooked. I am pouring it in. I'm going to divide it between the two pans there to make sure we get evenly amount in each one there. And then I am going to, what is your favorite sauces to use in your stir fry? Because I would like to know what you guys use that maybe is more on a healthier side. So let me know. And if you do THM or keto diet, what kind of sauces do you prefer? I am going to add today a soy sauce. It's been a while since I've done one, but I was like, let me try soy sauce today. But let me know what your favorites are. And I wanted to see what my children think of this one, but they liked it. We had it for dinner today and they liked it. So, and I'm just mixing it all in, and this meal too is pretty much done once we mix it all up. But look at that. This literally for my family of 8 is going to be pretty much about 3 meals of 3 dinner meals. So all 2 meals and some snack lunches for me. So depends. Sometimes the boys are really hungry or they already snacked through the day and they're not that hungry. So this is done for the week. Yay! Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I hope they were inspirational and a blessing to you. If you like them, give them a like, subscribe if you're new here, and please share the videos with others, and happy cooking.